Because there's a good I feel a little bit less worried about killing people because they have a chance to come back. Speaking of streams and content creation, Sidemen have announced that on Valentine's Day, their Netflix documentary is coming out. That's pretty hype. Every single time I had to make content was revolved around him. I would have never been able to do a podcast if I still shared a room with him.
Yeah, the time for myself is basically me wiped out on my bed, pretty much just waiting for the next thing to arrive. So yeah, it can be extremely chaotic.
Alright lads, welcome back to Midweek MC. No way. I am joined with AJX as per usual. This is the 22nd episode. I am in a bit of a goofier, hypier mood, which you wouldn't believe, AJX, because I was just talking to you in the most calm manner. However, I am a little bit hyped today. I am currently running. I think in the last 3 days I've had about 15 hours sleep. However, tonight, because I'm working a different shift, I'm going to have a good night's sleep. So maybe I'm excited for that. But today I am taking charge of this podcast. The last time we had a podcast with just you and I, you took charge. And, you know, we've had podcasts where we talk about topics, but you were the first person to kind of do a podcast where we just waffled. So it's my turn, AJX. My turn today.
I'd just like to say, you literally said, I'm ready to get a good night's sleep. It's 8 o'clock and you just opened a Red Bull.
Do you know Red Bulls don't hit me at all? This is my second one today. I have about 2 a day.
There's so much caffeine, I know, but surely it keeps you up for a bit.
I mean, see, the thing is, I've trained my brain to just sleep when I feel like it. So if I want to go to sleep,
I think that's just your lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep.
I don't think that's training.
I mean, you decide, right? Subject to opinion. How are you today, anyways, Mr. AJX?
Yes, I'm okay. I had a very busy day, a very first day, but yes, I'm here and I'm ready to podcast.
Speaking of days, we were both at work. That is going to be maybe the main topic of this podcast. There's a few other stuff I want to talk about before we get into it. But, you know, we both work. The idea for this podcast was meant to be work and life and content. But then I realized there's probably not a lot to talk about. So I've got a few other topics to talk about before we get into that.
Okay, let's jump into it. I can't wait. But before we do, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. Like down below.
And hit the notification bell.
Oh, true.
And if you're rich...
Rules are free.
And you have loads of money, become a channel member. Give us all your money now. Become a channel member now. Okay, sorry. Huge sellout. I guess that's the perfect transition into talking about the first thing I wanted to talk about. And I was going to say this to you off the podcast. Remember when before we hit recording, I was like, oh, I have one more thing to talk about. But I was like, actually, nah, we'll save it for the podcast. Okay,
that's okay. That sounds exciting.
In the month of January, from the 2nd of January, the podcast daily uploaded. In a sense of 2 podcasts a week because I'm just a goat. And every other day that wasn't a podcast day, I uploaded a InsideMC YouTube short. Thanks to Jokana-san. Big shout out. They've just been pumping out shorts. Even now, like, I think as of recording this podcast, they're about 3 or 4 shorts ahead. There is a short coming out tomorrow from recording this, so the day before the Corryway podcast, which is like a meme one. I think I sent it to you of the guest waiting to be introduced. That was made by Salad
Yes.
Real. I'm hoping to get a few more of those where I just give an idea and then Salad makes it because she is just quirky like that, I guess. You know, Jokana's been listening to the podcast, making highlight clips under 1 minute, and they've been popping off. So big props. Just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to Jokana there. However, the topic I was going to say is as of the last maybe 4 or 5 days, TikTok has finally, sort of, hopefully, maybe it's just because the guest is the shorts are about right now, hit the algorithm, Mr. AJX.
Oh, very exciting.
Well, as much as it can hit the algorithm, right? Like, so I'm going on the TikTok page right now, and, you know, we were averaging about 200 to 300 views every single podcast clip up until sort of 4 days ago, which would have been let's just say the 28th for the sake of it, okay? Then, on the 29th, I uploaded, or I'm saying I'm talking through Jokana because Jokana is a person who finds the clips, chooses which clips to use, and edits them. But I'm saying I because I'm the one who upload. The how Apakuna joined Outsiders SMP, and it reached Outsiders SMP TikTok. The hashtags.
Oh my god!
It got 7k views, which isn't like amazing for TikTok, but it was enough to get 454 likes, 11 comments. Then the 2 TikToks after it right now that are public. The Apakuna one 581, and then another Apakuna one 780. community. And then we spiked from 12 followers to currently 81 in the span of 3 days. So, you know, it's not amazing, but it's good considering the last 2-3 weeks have just had no growth pretty much, you know?
Yeah. It's a big difference. It's a big difference when it suddenly pops off. You just, something inside you enlights.
Something inside of me. It's just, what's how did it go again? Oh, something snaps.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Something snaps.
Oh, yeah.
Something snaps inside of me.
I should know that. That's like Striker's Law. Is that we just do that meme all the time.
Wow, you don't even know Striker's Law. That's crazy.
I'm the worst.
But yeah, so alongside that, the podcast team grew a little bit. We now have a mini podcast team, which I will say, and I didn't have enough words in the tweet. Closer every single day, the more I tweet, the more I get closer and closer to buying premium for more words. I haven't yet. I really want to. Something in my brain is telling me go for it. But then I also don't want to be that guy who paid for a tick. So, you know, we're holding off on it for now. Who knows? It might age poorly by the time this podcast comes out. There may be a blue tick next to the name, but the chances are low. However, the mini podcast team has been a thing since the podcast returned. It was originally Vera. It's always been Vera and Salad. They've always been helping with clips. And then there was somebody else who helps from time to time, someone who I don't really talk to too much anymore, so I'm just saying their name for the sake of it. However, they were always there. And then with the release of Midweek MC, that's when I got in contact with Shiny Dude, because I just needed a third person. I said I can't, I need one. So I just said screw it, let me try and ask a few Xbox players. And Shiny Dude responded, and you know, I thought, why not just officially make, you know, we have the wiki, we have a cool place to kind of have them there. Why not make the mini podcast team? Especially because for the last 20 odd weeks, all they've really been doing is helping get clips. However, as of recently, Vera has been doing edits. She has been making a few image edits for myself, and like the little Twitter ones that you see sometimes, because Aura's been quite busy, so I've been getting Vera just to literally just slap a transparent PNG on. But I count it as helping because I can't do that. Then Salad does fan art from time to time. They're also she's also now helping with like podcast clips and like making the Mimi ones. I'm gonna give Mimi, I just call it Mimi, oh my goodness. I'm gonna give her ideas and then she's gonna execute them, so that's gonna be quite fun. And then Shiny Dude has built the brand new podcast booth that if you're listening on the YouTube, you see on the screen right now. It's a much bigger than this and it might convert into something else, who knows, but you know, it's exciting. They've also built CubedCon. Do you remember the CubedCon podcast, AJX?
Yes.
So that's returning this year.
Oh, okay.
I would like to have a booth there because it looked quite cool. So
it did.
Shiny Dude has built an amazing booth concept with, I mean, it could be changed a little bit when the time comes, depending on where the podcast is at. However, the booth looks really, really cool. They built it to fit the diagram of the length or whatever you call the bloody word. So, you know, it's going to be quite exciting, and they've helped it with aspects like that. So I was like, you know what? They're doing more than just sitting in a chair and helping me get clips. Why not give them a bit of promotion for it? So that's news for the podcast. Other news, obviously, I was being a bit of a sellout and making a joke about channel memberships. Channel memberships do exist. You know, if you want, there's no pressure. Still going to upload podcasts anyways, despite you giving me money or not giving me money. But I don't really want to make a Patreon, so I guess we've got that. TikTok, InsideMC, and then there's been shorts. Hopefully, we still have been doing daily shorts. Jokana's still kind of catching up with the podcast. She's nearly caught up. And then even then, like, you know, she's probably going to get enough clips to keep us going pretty much daily for as long as she's able to keep editing them. So all of that, and then the wiki, as per usual. That's pretty much where you find everything. That's kind of my link tree. I use the wiki as a link tree, AJX.
I like that. I like the wiki being a link tree. That's what it should be for everyone.
Exactly. What's your news? Have you got any current news to talk about? I've got like a lot more topics.
Okay.
I feel like I kind of just went on a massive talk there without actually asking you anything. So
no. Well, it's the when we record it, it's the 31st. I'm hopefully this week finally going to finish the Mario Kart video, which I'm very excited about, and hopefully get ordering that and so on to begin the editing phase and the recording voice phase, and hopefully that'll be out by the end of Feb. It might be March, but that is the big stuff because I really think that video is going to be amazing and I'm very excited for it. Otherwise I'm doing a lot of events this weekend, so everyone will know by now where I finished, hopefully well in all of them. So yeah, I'm very looking forwed to that. I've been doing a lot of team making recently, so it's been very chaotic, but I'm looking forward to it being ready and all ready to pop off, basically.
What tournaments are you in like this weekend?
Okay, so I'm in CGN, which is Central Game Nights, which is done by MCC Central. I am then in One Shot, which is done by the wonderful We Choke on Milk. And finally, a brand new event called Slumber Party, which is hosted by Rice in Real Time. So yes, looking forward to all of those. I was the team maker for Slumber Party. Hopefully I haven't gave myself an OP team. But yes, I've been team making out the wazoo recently.
I can actually see your team here. I think your team is busted, it's unfair, and you're cheating, pretty much. So
thank you.
GGs. I mean, you've put yourself as literally, you've put yourself as the first frag. Of course you're the first frag, AJX. You're the best in the world. I'm lying, by the way. I'm not going to leak where AJX has put himself here, but it's first frag. It's definitely first frag.
It is first frag. I would always put myself as first frag because I'm a striker.
Oh, I don't know how the theme tune goes. How's the theme tune go? Go on, AJX, sing the theme tune for us.
I do not know Blue Lock theme tune off by heart.
Damn, not a real striker. That's all I'm saying. Personally, if I had Mighty Brothers, We Choke on Milk, or I'm Twiggy on the podcast, I reckon they'd know it off by heart.
Oh, they would. They definitely would.
So exactly. Well, I mean, then again, you are a very busy man. You know, you have a lot more stuff to worry about than remembering a song. So, you know, you got to respect it, kind of thing. I'm looking forward to One Shot Royale. We both got announced today, which is pretty cool.
We did. I'm so excited.
See,
are you hopeful that you might win this one?
No, I see. The thing is, right, it's on a Saturday, and it's also at like 5 p.m. Fun story. So the food shopping was originally meant to come Saturday afternoon. My mum hadn't like ordered it yet, but she was about to. I said, "Oh, like, you know, I'm in a tournament." She said, "Oh," I said, "It's not really like a tournament. I could probably get myself out before 7 p.m. if you really wanted." I said, "But if I could try and win, like, I might as well." So she said, "No, we can do it Friday night." I said, "All right, perfect." Next day, I get invited to record a video Friday night. So I'm like, by the way, we can't do Friday night. I said, "Why?" I said, "Because, you know, I've been invited to record." I said, "I could say no." She said, "No, don't say no to the video." It's like it's not like a massive creative. It's just a friend who I want to be in their video. So yeah, you know, I'm not going to say anything about it because it might not even go public. It just depends on how the recording goes. But she said, no, it's fine. She said, "When can you do?" Because like tomorrow I'm going to a football game. It's also payday tomorrow. So excited. Going to a football game on payday. Oh, the beers, the alcohol. Can't wait.
The bevs.
The bevs. Friday recording, Saturday thing, and then we don't want to get to it on Sunday. So I said, I can do like Saturday morning. She said, "What time?" I said, like, "Yeah, I can do anywhere." She said, "All right, how about between 8 and 9 a.m.? I was like, "Okay." Guys, and I have to wake up like 8 a.m. to help out with the food shopping, so that's going to be quite fun. But funny little story, I guess. It doesn't really matter to you, the listener. You listen to Midweek MC because you want to hear us waffle, and that's what you're getting. You're getting me waffling away. So I'm in a talkative mood.
That's exactly. That's what we need to do. It's the waffle podcast.
Exactly.
Except I think that is actually a podcast, so it's legally different.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, depends on how you look here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not like hopeful I'm gonna win because like last time, for example, right, I accidentally killed. See, the thing is, right, every single time I play, I just want to go on a murdering spree because I feel like it'd be fun. I feel like it'd be great. But every single time I feel quite bad because it's just like if you kill someone early. However, this time there's a gulag. So, you know, between us, AJX, don't go telling anyone because this is obviously no one's gonna hear this because the podcast is coming out well after it happened. Because there's a gulag, I feel a little bit less worried about killing people because they have a chance to come back. However, I killed off Quark by accident, and after that I sat in a tree, right, sitting outside a house with like Jack Cass and a few other people in it. I just get sniped from a massive distance, like, and I just damn. Actually, I've just got targeted. Yeah. That's crazy. That's the thing with One Shot Royale. It's great, but it's also like it's so easy to get targeted, you know? Yeah.
Well, it's a social event for a reason, so yeah.
But at least there's not money on the line. I don't think there ever will be, but I think it's
exactly.
Good right now.
No, there won't be. Yeah, there won't.
That's when it turned. That's when it wouldn't become a social event. It'd become like an experiment, but like a negative experiment kind of thing. In my eyes, in my opinion, that's how I see it. So
yeah, definitely. I have something to reveal.
Oh,
you know, the gulag was built by my little brother.
No way.
The whole of the gulag. So when you get to it, it literally all of it was made by hand. Well, not all of it. I'm not. But the majority of it was built by hand by him because he doesn't use commands.
See, I was gonna say shout out Mini AJX, but then that would mean it's your son, wouldn't it? So
he is officially ZMX.
okay, shout out ZMX. There we go. Is that their initials? No way.
Yes, that is their
Oh
initials.
my goodness gracious. Their name starts with Z and their second name starts with eggs. You know, respect. That actually sounds like it could be a cool name. Probably cooler than yours.
My sister is BMX.
Any other news before I go on more waffling topics?
No. I'm just very excited for this weekend.
It's gonna be fun. And then the weekend of this podcast coming out, something's being announced. I can't say because it wouldn't be announced by the time this podcast comes out, but something that me and AJX are a part of is being announced. That's going to be quite fun. Looking forward to that as well, seeing people's reactions to that. That's where I'll leave.
Is that after this podcast comes out?
It will be, yeah. It'll be on Saturday after the podcast releases. So, we can't really say too much about it. So, I mean...
Yeah, we can't.
I mean, like, over time, Midweek MC is going to have guests, but as you can see, it's more going to go to just me and AJX waffling. So, we can always just talk about it next podcast anyways. I'm quite enjoying this one already, just being able to kind of catch people up on everything. So I do it on stream, but like it's harder to catch a stream than it is to listen to a podcast,
Yes, exactly.
So,
it's a lot chill on here as well. You have to present on stream where we're just waffling to each other.
Well, I mean, no, this is literally what I do on stream, just no one really watches. So it's different. It's different in that sense.
Fair enough.
Speaking of streams and content creation, Sidemen have announced that on Valentine's Day their Netflix documentary is coming out. That's pretty hype.
Yes, it's all of a sudden, and it's crazy, right? Because, of course, SI had a documentary on Prime, and all of a sudden, a Sidemen Netflix special was announced, which just came out of nowhere. Very exciting, though, and I'm looking forward to it. But yes, I just was not expecting one for a Sidemen to get a documentary, or two for it to be on Netflix. But you know what? It's exciting times. It shows what creators can do.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't even know it was a documentary, and I don't even think they officially said it was a documentary. Unless maybe someone said it on stream. But when I saw it announced, it just looks like Netflix, but it just doesn't. There's nothing that says documentary unless I just completely missed it. I'm completely just misremembering it. But nonetheless, it's pretty exciting. It's coming out on Valentine's Day, same day that the podcast comes out, so that's gonna be quite fun. A Wednesday. Ooh. Hint. AJX isn't gonna be on the Wednesday, the recording. So they'll be on the podcast that comes out Valentine's Day, but they won't be in the recording. But it's fine. I found a new Valentine, so it's great. Don't worry. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see. It's quite exciting. Like you said, obviously KSI has done a documentary before. There's been other little things. They had the YouTube what's the name of the thing? Do you know what I'm on about?
The YouTube show, YouTube Premium.
Oh, it's YouTube Premium. It is. Okay, I was gonna say it, but I was like, no, it's not. Yeah, the YouTube Premium show, they've had that kind of stuff, so it's quite exciting to see how it's gonna go. I do have a little fun game for us, by the way, AJX. It's my turn, so
okay. Oh.
I do want to say though, before I do ask, because I guess it's kind of linking, is like I decided to take a shot in the dark. I guess you guys might find out how it worked, or if it worked, sorry. If there is a Sidemen documentary Netflix premiere happening in England, I have emailed the Sidemen from the podcast account to see if Ajax and I can go to the premiere, because on the CPK podcast he said that you can't hit if you don't shoot. He didn't write it like that, but that's my wording. Can't hit if you don't shoot, right? So reaching out, it's obviously a crazy shot in the dark, but it doesn't mean there's no possibility of going. Who knows, if there is a movie premiere and they see my email, I mean, we could see Ajax and Inside Orbits there, like possibly, who knows. So that's quite fun. However,
it would be incredible.
My 2-part game, AJX. Here we go. Right. So, in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time, we're still working on the podcast. That might seem a bit daunting to you. Oh god, I'm still going to co-host
no,
it
isn't.
5 years. InsideMC has a documentary made about them.
Okay.
You get to pick, and they can either have been a part of the podcast, or possibly a part of the podcast in 5 years. You get to pick 3 people to feature in the documentary, from working with the podcast team, actually no, let's not say podcast team, because I feel like that's kind of hard. Guest wise, or someone who has impacted the podcast but not part of the podcast team, because they'd all be in anyway. So you get to pick 3 creators, anyone, doesn't have to be friends, can be anyone, to be in a documentary. Who are you picking?
This might seem a bit biased, but you've had them on as a guest, so it's your own fault.
I know where this is going.
Debbie, obviously.
Oh, what shot? I guess no way.
Well, I just she's an important part of my life, so it would make sense for her to be in the documentary anyway. Oh, it's a surprise, obviously, but you know what would be the perfect way to figure this out?
Okay.
The wiki. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to the wiki. Let's find out
who's been a guest. No, but it can be pretending they come on as a future guest as well.
Oh, okay, future guest.
Yeah, no, so it can. So it's either previous guests. In 5 years' time, InsideMC has a documentary. In the last 5 years, which obviously we're only 2 years deep, or I guess technically 1 year deep. So there's 4 years of potential guests, potential podcasts, potential new opportunities.
Yeah.
Assuming, two more names now. So we can keep Debbie. You're 2 more. Past or future.
The strikers will be huge then. So
You know what? Because you've already said Debbie, I'm ruling out the strikers or any close friends. That's boring. That's boring, I've realised. I said it first, it can be, but now it's just boring. You get Debbie. 2 more.
I was going to say, next up you want people I might want in future, though, don't you? Because I was going to say Jackass next.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, they're not as close as the strikers. No, they are. I'll count Jackass. Okay, I'm ruling out strikers or anything to do with strikers. There we go. Spin-off strikers or whatever they're called as well, they're blocked out.
Oh, but you've had them on as a guest.
Who?
Justin.
No, you don't just get to pick Debbie, Jackass, Justin. That's so easy. No, the third one has to be adventurous. I'll give you Debbie, I'll give you Jackass. Or if you want to switch Jackass with Justin, that's fine. But the third one has to be a crazy one. And I have a name for you. I'm just surprised you haven't said it.
Is it Antfrost?
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Well, I'm a huge fan of Antfrost. There's obviously, I'm a big fan of a lot of people. Like, I love Tommy Innit or Jack Manifold, or just because me and Jack have a lot in common. There's a lot of people that I'd love on the podcast. Wilbur Sir. I'm just naming Sleepy Boys now. Antfrost was really cool because I just, I'm a huge fan, and he's done a lot to support my career. But Noxite actually, that would be a big one.
So your 3 would be Debbie, Jack, and Noxite, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so I cut you off there, sorry, because what?
I was thinking, he sort of that darted what I did, right? MCC, so that would be an important part of me in the documentary, as much as it might not be of the podcast. And then Jack's just a very good friend.
Well, Noxite came on the podcast, so it would still be to do.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And
I've copped out there.
I guess I'll let you off of it. I guess to also back the Noxite point. So a fun fact that we've never really discussed publicly. Maybe I said it on stream one time. Noxite was originally meant to be an InsideMC guest for January. I was originally going to invite them on to come on in the new year to kickstart the new year, right? However, Midweek MC was what edition of Midweek MC did they come on? Let me fact check myself here. Search across your channel, Noxite.
Oh, I'm on the wiki. Do you want me to find it then?
On the 11th edition of Midweek MC, so it's actually quite deep into it. Midweek MC was getting pretty interesting, and me and AJX were getting closer, because we were close with Midweek MC, but we got closer as Midweek MC went on, and I kind of wanted to do a solid for them. So I remember getting Noxite and then turning around and going to AJX, by the way, Noxite is coming on Midweek MC. So I guess it just felt rewarding to be able to do that, in a sense of kind of go to by the way, in 2 weeks you're going to be sitting down with Noxite, just a heads up. And then 2 days before that, I'm going to be sitting down with Fruitberries. So, and the week after that, I'm going to be sitting down with Fruitberries. And it's okay, wow. I mean, someone like Antfrost, if we ever got on, would be InsideMC, but, that'd be just a Monday you'd have to clear up if you wanted to host it. Because then, I made sure to get Noxite on a Wednesday anyways for us. That's interesting. I should have really thought about my 3 while you were saying your one, because I want to have a go at this as well.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of just one. Do you know how you thought of your ones on the spot last week? This was on the spot one as well, because we were just talking about stuff. It'd be fun. My 3. You know what? One name, and it's a really random one, probably for a lot of people, because I've never really interacted with them, nor have I really ever watched their content much. Average Harry is the first one.
Okay, yeah.
It's a strange one, but I don't know.
Bit left field.
I just feel like he could be cool for a documentary. He just gives me those kind of vibes. That's the first one. Second one, CPK. Easy.
Of course, yes.
Easily. I think CPK is very cool. Third one. Oh, okay, right. I don't have to say Noxite because you've already involved Noxite in it, so that's good. I get away with that.
No, yeah.
Third person. Oh, see, the first 2 were so easy. I know I get the third one. Have you got an idea for me? Have you got an idea as AJX?
In terms of, oh gosh.
I have the third one. Potato Pie 25.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot
They
of
were
sense.
the first ever guests to come on the podcast. They were also the second and the third ever editions of the podcast. And they were the co-hosts for the return Inside MC. So I think it would be very bad to do a documentary without them featured in it somehow. Even if like they somehow stopped making content. Same goes for any of the creators I mentioned. I think they all deserve to have a chance in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very good last pick, shall I say?
It's more so like when I said this, it's more so like if there's a segment talking about the most notable or memorable podcasts, they would be kind of like the three names, if that makes sense. And I feel like
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, like that's just I'm throwing an idea that wouldn't like because then that'd be completely three different names for me if it was notable ones. I'm just using it as an example, if that makes sense, of a way to feature them in the documentary.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get you.
The second part of the question, AJX, right?
Yes.
London 2025 Inside MC movie premiere night, right? A few creators are coming, a few invites have been handed out. However, you're given three people, can't say the strikers, three people like that you can take to the movie premiere with you. Well, two people, because the first one's obviously Debbie. Actually, you know what? No, Debbie, I guess like partners are an automatic, so we ruled out Debbie here. You get three names.
My family automatic as well, I'm guessing.
Family automatic, strikers automatic, Debbie automatic. You get to bring three friends. Okay. And
okay.
Mini strikers aren't automatic, so you could cop out and say them if you want to. I know that's not their name. I can't be bothered to say that actually. I can't remember
it. Better strikers.
Better strikers. Sorry, there we go. I don't know. Mini strikers is funny. Three names. Go. Do you get to bring to the movie premiere with you?
It would be not Justin Rice in real time.
So yeah, I just copped out. Okay.
Yeah. And then my actual best, my little pictures.
But that's four. Oh.
No. Little pictures. There you go. Little pictures instead of my actual best friend. He wouldn't care.
So who are the three?
Little pictures. Not Justin Rice in real time.
No Nomad.
Oh.
Wait, who's the third better striker? Is it Nominal or Nomad? Sorry, I always get confused.
But just it's Debbie.
Oh, never mind then. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do I bring?
Debbie, you've already allowed that. So
I didn't realize. Sorry. Okay, ignore the. I didn't mean to name drop them. I just thought one of them were.
No, it's okay.
My three podcasts seem automatic, so I don't have to worry about that. Creators,
I'm sure Nomad could come as a +1 to Rice.
Right, no, but then Rice is your +1, so then that's just It's just a horrible little chain we've started there.
What? Oh, I'm trying to cheat.
I know. I'm shutting that shit down. Name. Corey Way would be one, I reckon. Who I actually would have mentioned for like feature. It's just they didn't come to mind at the time. Corey Way, assuming they weren't automatically invited.
You should have just asked me what guests I would have invited that we've already had on.
No, because you don't have to say guests. Nor am I saying only guests.
I'd have different guests to you because.
But we're not saying guests.
I'm midweek. I know.
Boring. That's easy because then it's just picking your favourite guests. There's no point in that.
No. I'd only. Okay. Also, I don't play favourites. I love all the guests we have here on midweek MC.
Corey Way,
especially me. I'm my favourites.
Who do I like? The thing is, though, I don't really talk to many I mean, I do, but not like. Obviously, I talk to people. I'm not egotistical. I just mean like I don't really contact too many people that aren't like part of the podcast team. Like I'd say easily Vera, Shiny, and Salad, but they're podcast team. So Oliver MCS. I've named two guests here, though, haven't I? But then guests would be automatic because by that time you would have had loads of guests. No, actually, no. Red Lime instead. We'll say Red Lime. Corey Wave, Red Lime. 2 speedrunners. Great. Do I finish off with 3 speedrunners here? I'm just going through my recent DMs at this point.
You love speedrunners. There's so many other people I'd love
Dane, you know what? Dane Lol Dane would be my third one.
Okay. Fair enough.
We don't really talk much. I just think there'd be... Oh, actually, can I change? I want to change... Oh, God, I feel bad. Sorry, Red Lime. You're definitely still up there. Just for the sake of the podcast. Red Lime listens. No, we're changing Corey Way because Red Lime listens. I don't know if they're listening to this, but they listen to the podcast. Red Lime, Nebula, Dane Lol Dane. There we go. That would be my 3, which makes no sense. I mean, +1s would kind of just be my girlfriend and two really close friends, I guess.
Yeah.
But then in 5 years, it's going to be so different. Like, Dane could stop making content. Nebula could be well past, like, streamer life. Like, life could be so different in 5 years. It's time to get so so deep. Oh no.
Clearly everything could change.
Exactly. But yeah, that was a fun little game, fun little topic. That actually lasted a lot longer than I realised it was going to. This podcast is not very quick. Holy, we've already been recording for 35 minutes, AJX.
We'll just chill with each other. That's why.
Oh, I want to make another sub. I want to sub out.
Oh.
Oh shit, I'm subbing out.
Oh my god.
Neb is getting subbed out. Sorry, Neb. Dane Arrington. I want to change Redlime as well because Redlime's great. Redlime would be automatically invited, not a +1. There we go. That's my cop out. Just like how you get the strikers and shit. Dane, Houndy,
My
and
brothers.
Arrington. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, do you know what? We'll stick with that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep changing my mind. It's so hard. It's so hard to pick 3. Oh my goodness. So you just copped out. You had an easy cop out, whereas like I think loads of people are cool. Not saying you don't. I just mean like,
you could have banned a lot more of my friends.
What's the
then it would have been a
point?
bit
What's the
more
point? But you get to pick 3 people, but you can't choose these people. You can't choose. Oh, not those either. Nope, not those ones.
Yeah,
not those.
I'd just pick all my mods if you didn't let me.
At one point, you just like at one point you get to Aquadrag, and I say no because they work on Team Builder Showdown. Did you pick it up for me then? You know. So.
Just other friends I have probably.
Moving on to the next topic then. This isn't really a topic, so we talked about this 2 weeks ago, and we'll probably talk about it soon anyways. I just want to bring up TwitchCon Rotterdam again, just really quickly. It's not going to be a massive one, just wanted to kind of update the peeps on it. So from recording this tomorrow, I get paid. Woohoo! That means that the Eurostar tickets will be being bought. I mentioned this on the Sandwich Lord Faye podcast that comes out in 2 days. I did talk to them about it. I haven't edited it yet, so it might get cut out because I mentioned the time that I'm going and the time that I'm coming home. I don't really want to dock, so I don't want to come out of the train station. I just see a massive group of, InsideMC fans waiting for me, because that's definitely what would happen as soon as I... Are you good? You just turned into a pigeon. I talk about TwitchCon, you just become a pigeon. I don't get it.
Go ahead.
Shut up, man. I have reserved 2 hotels. They're both pay when you get there. I'll be paying a little bit of extra money just to have them reserved. One of them I'll obviously cancel. One's at the airport, one's in the city. The one that's at the airport will most likely be cancelled because it's just that far out, and the one in the city I should have enough money for to kind of warrant spending it. It's just both of there is cautionary, pretty much. There's another one in the city that I want to stay in. However, it's not like you can't reserve it. It's just pay now, and I don't really want to pay now. So I've reserved 2 for pay when you get there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Eurostar tickets definitely being bought tomorrow. Hotel reserved. Vibes are high. So
Immaculate
vibes, mate. So AJX, we've held it off long enough. We've talked about all the fun stuff. Now to get into the the serious stuff, AJX. Let's talk about work life. Woohoo!
Yay!
The most fun topic to ever grace the InsideMC podcast. So this was my idea for a topic. Why? Because I have been busting my ass to try and make content work alongside managing a real-time job. Yep. It's not fun. But I kind of just wanted to, partially talk about my experience with it all and kind of touch on everything and kind of just talk to the viewer about life as it happens, I guess. So,
yeah.
This topic is going to be about balancing work, content creation. Basically, a few months ago, I had the content creator called Lackey on as a guest. And I remember something that's really stuck with me is during that podcast, they mentioned how somebody had mentioned to them, you can't really have a healthy balance when it comes to content creation and stuff, right? You have work, you have content creation, and you have family. If you're trying to balance all 3, you're never going to get a healthy balance, right? But that's where they left it. As far as I remember, they just left it as healthy balance. However, I'm kind of proving with the podcast right now that you can have a balance, right? It's not a healthy one. It's certainly not a healthy one, but it's a balance nonetheless. And it's kind of like my mentality right now with it is it's unhealthy right now so that it can be healthy in a year. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
When I'm staying up until 2 a.m. and I'm waking up at 7 a.m. and going doing a full shift, 8-hour shift at work, and my parents and my mum is like, I can't believe you were up, Dad. You gotta look after yourself, catch up with you. My reply is, lose sleep now if I can get it back 2 years, right? Hopefully, assuming. This could all be for nothing. Who knows? I could be doing this for no reason. I mean, it's still the experience. It's still fun to do, and I don't mind doing it. But passionate about it, want it to grow. And like Wolfie said, how somebody told them, they've never seen somebody who is passionate with content fail. You work hard.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What do you do for work, AJX?
So I'm a social media, not even that anymore. I'm just a full-time marketing manager for a company. It's a quite a big company, but there's a small amount of staff. stuff. So I do a lot for that company, from posts on our website, posts on social media, all different types of stuff, to even sending out packages from now and then when I need to. So yeah, I'm very busy with that. I do a lot for that company. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I have to go to the office, which is about an hour and a half away from me, and then coming back as well. So yeah, it can be pretty chaotic with that.
Why did you choose that field of work?
So basically, I left school around I left school and I just didn't want to go to uni. So I signed up for apprenticeship and at this company, and it was to do social media marketing, because I thought that was the future of marketing basically. And I basically grew through that company. I went from an apprentice to now being the manager of marketing as a whole. And yeah, so it was sort of I will say my dad is very, very high up in marketing, so basically following in his footsteps, because he very successful.
Fair enough.
What about yourself? You've sort of dropped hints in the past on the podcast.
I've straight up said what I do.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say.
No, I haven't. First, AJX, before we get into me.
Okay, go. I was turning around.
No. Let's finish talking about you fully, and then we'll talk about me. Then we can split, because then if people want to hear about you, they can listen to the segment, and then they can click off when it gets to my part. So.
Or vice versa.
They need to skip over you, exactly. We'll see the retention graph, I guess. So I guess actually not. No, you're right. Let's just do it base by base. We can kind of go into the same topics at the same time. Sorry, yeah.
I'm never wrong.
Okay. No, now I want to prove you wrong, AJX. I am a barista. No way. Barista, for anyone who doesn't know what it is, because I used to think it was something to do with like weddings or funerals, I think, or something like that. I think there is, right? There's like a barista to do with something like that. I could be wrong. Anyways.
No, I think barista is exactly what you do.
No, is it like pronounced barista? It's like to do with law or something?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
that's what I was getting confused with. Yeah, so I make coffees. This is fun. So I used to work a warehouse job, but that's when I started up the podcast as well as at the warehouse. And then I got like a night shift job making coffees, which I call it a night shift job. It wasn't really night shifts. It was more just afternoon to evening, which I classified as night shifts. It meant I didn't really get to do anything. So every time I referred to a night shift, it was me being a barista there. Got trained up to make coffees, all that kind of stuff. And then during that period, I stopped making content creation because the money was amazing. The money was really, really good. I don't have anything to show for it, but the money was quite good. It was an alright job. And then I ended up getting suspended in February, and they offered me my job back because everything kind of resolved in my term, that other thing. And I realized I got really, really unhealthy. While I was suspended, I got really into streaming, and I even brought back the podcast in April. I really, really missed it, and I realized that content creation is kind of my calling in a sense, hopefully. So I said no to the invite back, and then I had trouble for work, which I really should have said yes and went back until I had another job lined up. But I wouldn't have been able to go to interviews if I had this job, because during November 2022 I worked 6 days a week the entire month. That was fun, but once again the money was it's too good to kind of turn down. And I've always kind of had that mentality. I prove with the podcast right now I can very easily run on like tiredness somehow, as long as I have a Red Bull by my side. So Red Bull and me, there we go. So then and then I've been at this job now for just over 4 months. It's a job, certainly. I have found many problems with it, and I'm right now I'm not going to rant about it. I've just had a few bad experiences there in the last 2 weeks. Nothing to do with me specifically, just like in general, just kind of a crap I meant to work in. People, the people, I don't really know how to explain this, and just in case they end up finding it's an alright environment. It's just changes and stuff being done. I don't like when people make stressful situations out of something that shouldn't be stressful. There we go. I'm nice and chill when I'm at work. I'm going to work on 5 hours sleep, so I'm very much conserving energy. I'm very much chilling. I'm not overdoing it. I'm not rushing. People just all around me are just so panicky and this and that, and I had to do something at 11 o'clock, and then I did it at 10:50. It's like, oh, you have to wait 10 minutes. I'm like, what's the difference? It's 10 minutes. That kind of stuff. But overall, what was the question? Oh yeah, I'm a barista. There we go. I studied accounting. I don't think I mentioned that too much on the podcast. I've mentioned it a few times, but yeah, I originally went to college, studied accounting.
I didn't know that, actually.
You didn't? I thought I told you.
No, you've never told me that.
I feel like I mentioned it somewhere. So I did accounting. I did it for give or take 2 to 3 years. I started it at the age of, so I'm 20 years of age. Started it in like 2020. No, I left school in 2019, so it would have been a 2019 to 2020 thing. Did my first year of accounting, absolutely aced it. Did very, very well. And then in 2020 to 21, COVID hit. So during like near the end half of my first year, it kind of went online, and then the set like the entire. It feels like a blur because I feel like I did the entire first year without COVID, but looking back on it, if it was 19 to 20, I would have done like the end of my first year during COVID. So I guess it's just it's just all a bit of a blur. But then COVID hit. I did an entire year of college during COVID. Somehow passed like literally by the skin of my teeth. It was just at this time when that happened, I was always at home. I was always on my PC. I just saved up enough money from like command block tutorials, buy a PC, to buy like double monitors. I was living the life, like my brother had just moved out, so I had the entire room to myself for the first time ever. Like every single time I had to make content was revolved around him. I would have never been able to do a podcast if I still shared a room with him, because I had to wait until he left the room just to record a video. It was horrible, but I made it work, and he moved out, and in the third year of accounting, I had to pay for it. And the first year I had to pay for it, I think I paid like whatever, $1,000 or whatever, which I don't really mind saying. I failed my first 2 exams, and then I dropped out because I'm like, this just isn't for me anymore. I can't see myself, like I kind of lost all my knowledge from the 2 years prior, which was bad. Like I just studied it and I couldn't really remember any of it, and I just couldn't see myself sitting behind a desk. I mean, I have a few regulars who are accountants, and I talked to them about it, and they said they like it. Like some of them have been in the game for about like 25 years. I'm just like, I can see myself sitting behind a desk editing the podcast. I can see myself sitting behind the desk, like, streaming. And this is going to put it very blandly, and it's not as bland as this, I guess. I can't see myself sitting behind the desk and crunching numbers for other people. And that's the most basic way of saying what accounting is, by the way. I'm obviously not going to go into depth of what it is. One of my closest friends, the person I go to football games with, he's an accountant, he studied it, and he's fully qualified. So, it's just interesting that I studied that, and now I'm a barista, and now I'm doing content. But yeah, that's pretty much me summed up in the longest form possible. My second question for you here, AJX, I'm building off of this.
Okay.
How do you do it? How do you, you've got like a very busy schedule. I'm not going to say what it is. It's your choice if you want to reveal what it is. But, you partially balance. I mean, I guess we're rolling out the podcast here because, I'm very appreciative that you take time out of your day every Wednesday to record the podcast with me. And then straight after you finish recording, you go and join somebody's stream. So that's really cool. But like, other than that, that's what you really do for the podcast, right? And that's not in a negative way. It just means like it's a bit easier on the podcast sense. But you also do like a lot of other stuff, whether it be your own content or joining other people's content. How do you balance the work and content life?
I think I can drop my schedule. So
do as you will.
Monday, Monday I go to work. So I have to go into the office very early and then come back later because it takes a while to get there. So it tends to be that on Sunday nights and Monday nights I go to bed earlier than I usually do. And then I take my brother to Taekwondo because he's learning Taekwondo, and I'll go on a little walk myself. Oh, there you go.
The green belt.
He's close to black now, so I'm very proud of him. Oh. Then on Tuesday, I go to work again. I come back, and that day is usually scheduled for me and Debbie to record for our joint channel, separated by pixels. So that's always busy and chaotic. So we usually try and record and stream. We've been doing a lot of streaming recently because we're getting ready for this Mario Kart video, which is very exciting. Then on Wednesday, I obviously I have work from home, and then I do this, and then I do my friend's Little Pinchers stream, as I say. Thursday, again, work. Then me and my best friend play Football Manager. That's literally scheduled in for us to play. Friday is pretty much
Thursday. Cool. Yeah, sorry.
This Thursday. Yeah, Friday we usually I usually keep free, but an event pops up, or I'll try and do a date night with Debbie, or just something will usually tend to pop up. Saturday is the same. Events usually pop off then. And I'm trying to do content, spend time with my family. Often my nieces and older sisters will come up. So I want to spend time with them then. And then Sunday is the same pretty much. So it is very much, I basically scheduled when I need to spend time with people. But you may notice there, unless if an event's on a Friday, I can't really spend time with Debbie. I tend to spend time with Debbie after all that's happened late at night. And it's difficult, right? Because I'm very tired when that's happening. So it's difficult to spend time with Debbie because I've just had to schedule everyone else in. Scheduling time with whether it's you or Pix or my other best friend, all my best friends basically, I'm scheduling time periods in. And then you may have noticed that I don't even mention the strikers because I have no time scheduled in with them. And that's basically whenever I can as well. And pretty much this means that it's been near impossible for me to find time to do videos. And that's really affected the AJX channel, where basically nothing's been on there for ages. I obviously left MCC, came back for a little bit, but I've been trying to do this Mario Kart video for since August, and it's just because I have no time to do stuff. It's very much difficult to do it, but I'm doing content for other people, we'll see, and that's very great. But I do want to get this video done, and it's basically just finding small pockets of time to do that, and that does mean that there's little time for myself, and the time for myself is basically me wiped out on my bed, pretty much just waiting for the next thing to arrive. So yeah, it can be extremely chaotic,
You
and
make
a
it
lot,
work
but
to an extent.
yeah, you know, I don't feel like I'm pushing to a point yet. Sometimes I'll crash, but obviously I'll ask for time from people then. You know, these aren't my friends, you know, Orbis is my friend, I can ask him for time off the podcast for a week. I have done before, same with Pix, and yeah, so, but, you know, you get in such a momentum, such a scheduled thing that when you find time for yourself, you're sort of just like blinking up at the ceiling because you don't feel like you have time to game or to do anything that just will calm you down. So yeah, it's very difficult.
I mean, you don't have to ask for time on the podcast. Just say you can't show up. Like, I mean,
no, yeah, of course.
I like every week.
Yeah, I like you know, checking with you beforehand. I don't know, it's just like surprising it on you.
That's fair.
It's still like scheduled breaks, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, it's more. I mean, your schedule is obviously very packed. I mean, does it ever get? I can imagine it does get overwhelming. But I mean, like, do you ever want to change it? If that makes sense. Like, is it? I know you can't really warrant. You don't really want to cut anything out. But have you ever kind of looked at him and like,
no,
this I need to get rid of? Really?
I talked about this to people, and it's like to cut something out, I'm having to cut something away from someone. I just don't want to do that because, like, I love the podcast. I love spending time with Pix, and it's not just Pix. Pix is a friend and Bork. So it's spending time with them, and then yeah, it's just really difficult. You know, even the weekends, I can't. The big thing is, right, I have a Odeon, which is our cinema chain in the UK. It's a big cinema chain. I'm an Odeon Pass member. I just never have time to go to movies.
Of course you
I
are.
never have time. Yeah, but I just don't have time anymore. I used to have so much time to go to movies.
You're a busy bee.
And now I have no time to. So yeah, it's chaotic. I'm not like I want to change this. It works currently, but I'm sure something will end up changing in the future anyway. So I'm just waiting till then, pretty much.
Yeah. And I will say now, I guess, just to put it here, and I know you're gonna be like, oh no, but it's fine. So anyways, if it ever obviously does get too much, like, I'm happy if you need to like take a wild break from the midweek MC. Obviously, I don't want you to, but I'm just saying, like, don't ever feel like, I mean, of course you don't now, but don't ever feel forced to kind of like, come on, there's no pressure to, you know? Just putting it out there for the sake of putting it out there.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you, bro.
It's quite interesting though, because like I mean, just like listening to it, your schedule is very it works around other people more than it works around yourself. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Like, you know, have you like it's got to feel a bit too much in the case of it's harder to do content for yourself because every single one of these people you're working around their schedule so they can do content. Then it means you're kind of forgetting about your own. Like you said, the AJX channel took quite a hit because of it.
Yeah, and it's definitely feel disappointed about that. I just need to, as I say, find time to be able, and you know, I'm writing quite lengthy scripts now, as I say them. So this Mario Kart one is me doing every single track and reviewing it. So it's already got past like about 10,000 words. So it's very lengthy, but you know, it's just something you have to track on with.
You got to kind of just live with it. Eh?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hopefully I can find more time for my own content. I do have plans. I was hoping that I could get one video done per month. I'm feeling with this Mario Kart video, it'd be a big push, but maybe we could get it done by the end of Feb. So yeah, hopefully, maybe. You've
got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe in AJX supremacy.
Thank you.
The world of AJX got an unlimited schedule. There we go. The meme. If you know the meme, you know the meme. The meme. Okay, I need to stop. I'm sorry. Me, on the other hand, my schedule is very much worked around myself. Believe it or not, I don't have other people work around me. I guess in a sense I kind of do with the midweek MC, but even then, to be fair, I mean the Tilly Super Dog podcast was rescheduled Thursday because I just couldn't do the Wednesday. I just wasn't having the best of days, and plus you were busy that week, anyways. So you weren't able to make the Thursday. So sadly, obviously, you couldn't make it, but that was my fault. But so yeah, I guess like it kind of does work around people in a sense if I do Wednesdays because it benefits you, but it also benefits me. So I guess if that makes sense. However, I guess the reason I wanted to talk about this is kind of just to talk about managing the podcast. I want to do a podcast in the future where we talk about how to run a Minecraft podcast. I feel like, I genuinely do feel like now, I obviously not doing amazing view-wise, but I don't think there's anything I can do better now than I'm already doing, kind of thing. So I think I'm in a good place to make a podcast talking about how to run one, because I feel like we qualified to be able to talk about it. But that's for another podcast anyways, for the sake of this one. So this is my schedule, AJX. So I have the weekends off either to spend time with family, spend time with my girlfriend, or right now we're saving money for like the dates of Rotterdam and for me Birmingham and stuff like that. So we're not really doing too much. However, so Monday record the podcast 7 p.m. GMT. Hopefully, the one with Lockie Ness is going to be recorded on the Sunday. So obviously I and that's at 10 a.m. because he's Australian. So obviously I cater around other people. Sometimes I change the podcast to the benefit of it. But it's normally Monday 7 p.m. GMT. Tuesday. Hopefully sometimes get a stream in. Very rare I actually do. However, I just edit. Wednesday, midweek MC. No way, with AJX. Like right now. This is midweek MC. Crazy. Thursday, edit. Friday, edit. Saturday, edit. Sunday, edit. Podcast. So I edit the entire podcast, and believe it or not, it's not as easy as it seems, because it's easier to get distracted when editing the podcast. So I'll be sitting there, I'll be editing and cutting, and then I'll have a Twitch stream up. But now I'll unmute it, start talking in the Twitch channel, and like half an hour later, I'm like, shit, I've just lost half an hour editing. So I've been staying up. I mean, I won't be now because, like I said earlier in the podcast, my shift pattern has changed. But when I'm working this kind of shift, I am starting work at 8. I'm waking up at 7, specifically 7:05, because then I get dressed in 15 minutes. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, he doesn't bath in the morning. No, I bath every night. I bath every night. Those people, but I don't care. I get up, I sort myself out. I can do it all in 15 minutes. My clothes are ready, all that kind of jazz. I ironed all that kind of shit the night before, and then the night before that, I'm staying up until about 2 a.m. give or take, editing away. I give myself 5 hours sleep at the minimum. I won't go below. One time I've gone below 5 hours sleep, and it's because I really need to get the podcast out the next day. But other than that, I won't go below 5 hours sleep. So yeah, that's my one. I mean, obviously it changes. Like on Friday I'm recording. If I go out over the weekend, if I go out Saturday, for example, Saturday recording when there's a tournament on. Obviously that throws a spanner in the works, but for the most part, it's just literally just podcast and work. And that's kind of linking back to the balance thing. Can balance it because I balance it, but then I also lose a shit ton of sleep. And I guess this is me kind of bigging myself up here, and I feel like I have the right to do so. Sometimes, like I guess like 2 weeks ago on midweek MC when AJX took over, if you know me, you could tell, and I was very tired that podcast, and it's why AJX took charge. And there's a few times where my mind is kind of out of it because I'm recording 2 of these a week, and I've been doing that for nearly a year now, and I am determined to get to the year. I'm so determined. It nearly didn't happen, so I was going to go to America. I'm no longer going to America. I'm saving it till like the later half of the year, around about TwitchCon time. But I'm determined, AJX, to upload 2 podcasts up until that day. And then,
you are extremely.
So yeah, I guess that's my schedule. There's not really much to say about this. That's why I said I realized it was going to be a long topic. I just wanted to bring it up as a topic, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely, how chaotic our lives are is important to the podcast.
Exactly. And I guess that proves the passion even more, because if I didn't care about it, or if I was only in it for the like I said, I still haven't earned a penny from the podcast, even with channel memberships. I mean, no one's become a channel member, which I don't force people do, and who knows, by the time this was coming out, maybe there is. I've linked it to RSS, which apparently gets a good amount of views. So I've linked it as a donation thing on this, but no pressure on that font. It's not me trying to say our thing, but that just shows I wouldn't be putting in this much work and this much effort if my only goal was to grow, because there hasn't been much growth. I mean, if TikTok picks up and carries on as how it's happening right now, who knows, it could turn into something something, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Shorts and
exactly.
Because I've always wanted to do them, but I just never did it myself, and that's why, once again, I guess a massive shout out to Joe Kana again. I'm grateful for the entire podcast team, don't get me wrong, but Joe Kana right now is the only person on the team directly affecting upload content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, balancing work and content is hard. I can imagine school is even harder. I mean, the hours are a bit better, but also homework and stuff, and vision and learning and stuff, and that's why I'm kind of grateful I don't have the school aspect of things. But yeah, other people can manage, but they also don't edit the podcast. I edit every single second of the podcast. I re-listen to the entire thing and edit it out completely, and that just shows dedication, grind set. Rah!
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Grind.
I guess another fun fact about work is, a few people know about the podcast. I was approached the other day. Nothing's followed from it just yet. Who knows, it might in the future maybe. But somebody came and so basically, I guess just word spread that I had experience with social media marketing. No one knows about the podcast. They think I edit for a friend's one, and I'm living lavishly from the earnings. I'm not. I lied. I lied in all fronts other than I edit for a podcast because I edit the own. But overall, it got I guess word kind of spread, and I was approached by somebody about marketing. I was like, oh, so I'm waiting for a follow up from that if it ever comes. I'm not going to push for it, but that could be fun. So who knows? Maybe I could get into the marketing and the work life and link it back to the podcast. So we'll see. Link it back to the podcast. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean that pretty much covers this midweek MC. Was kind of just us I like this. He updates people on our lives, updates people on that kind of jazz, and I finally get to take over in a sense of a podcast that doesn't have a direct idea behind it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's chaos. It's chaos.
Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about, AJX?
No. Once again, thank you for having me on.
No worries. I mean, you've been a great co-host, and this has just been a nice chill MC. So.
Exactly.
Man, this is gonna be the quickest outro ever. Peace. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Check out the wiki. Check out the YouTube if you're on Spotify, and vice versa if you're on YouTube. Check out the Twitter. Check out the TikTok. There we go. If you want to see full highlight clips, if you're just curious as to what we've picked out as to call this highlight clip, then check out the Twitter account. There we are. TikTok. My goodness, the TikTok account. Right. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe. See you on Friday, literally in 2 days from now, with the Sandwich Lord and FaZe Ray podcast. And then next week for another midweek MC, hopefully joined by the amazing AJX. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe.
Oh yeah.
Don't eat too much bread. Peace.